This is a daylight shot of the flying crank ghost that I made for Halloween this year. Found the plans online at phantasmechanics.com. You can do a Google search and find the plans anywhere, actually. She's really easy to make. She's made out of cheesecloth, wire coat hanger, and a styrofoam wig head. I also put a mask on her, and she's shown here with her original red eyes. She's since had three motors so far and two sets of eyes, and I'll show you in her final configuration. This short video clip shows the cranking mechanism made out of a 7 RPM gear motor that I bought from Grainger. It's mounted inside a metal box, mounted directly to the ceiling of the garage. Because of some height issues, I didn't make the full assembly, so I mounted the pulleys and the gear motor directly to the ceiling. Showing her here with her final blue eyes that went well with the cheesecloth when it glowed under the black light in the dark. I used 8-pound test fishing line for the marionette lines. My wife dubbed her Amelia after the missing Amelia Earhart. So here's Amelia on her first official test flight after she was finished. Here's a shot of my grave grabber. I named him Mr. Creepy. He seemed to creep my wife out. She wouldn't stand near him. But what I did was bought a styrofoam skull and a pair of gloves that were labeled werewolf hands, and added heavy gauge wire to the fingers so I composed them and it wouldn't just flop around when he was moving. And I blackened the mouth out a little bit with some cloth so you couldn't see through to the neck mechanism that's holding his neck on. And I also added some red eyes to him. After I finished Amelia, I was staring at the original motor that I had for her. It's an old 12-volt DeWalt drill that I had sitting around for 6 years and never did anything with. So I took the battery out, added wires directly to the where the battery leads would go, and it had a 90-degree angle gear box on it to get the crank 90 degrees away from the drill. So I was sitting there looking at this and it was bugging me. So I figured let me I have a couple weeks left till Halloween. Let me make something else out of this. And the grave grabber caught my attention, and it just snowballed from there. The main assembly or frame for Mr. Creepy is really just a rectangle I made out of PVC pipe, and extended the short lengths of the rectangle out for the arms. And I made it out of white PVC half-inch pipe because I wanted it to look like bones if the shirt ripped, where I ripped the shirt and had some of the frame showing through. I didn't want it to look like metal. After Mr. Creepy Prop was finished, I had to make some ribs out of some Romex to protect the cranking mechanism from getting caught up in the shirt. I don't know if you can see it very well in this picture. Also, I had an idea that I wanted Mr. Creepy to remain dark and motionless until somebody would walk up to him. So what I did is I added some electronics to accomplish this, and what he was he was on a delay, and his eyes, the blue lights on his face, and his motion and a loud scream all happened at once after you walked up to him, and this kind of accomplished a nice scare for a few of the trick-or-treaters. Here's a shot of some of the electronics I used to control Mr. Creepy. In the bottom right, you'll see a large black box. That's a motor controller used to slow down the action of Mr. Creepy because the DeWalt drill was just too fast. The other small black boxes to the left of that are the small $2 scream box that I wired wires into to amplify it, and then another one for a trigger onto the original switch of the screen box. I used a car equalizer to amplify the sound of the screen box. And then inside this box you'll see a 2 timers and 2 relays. Mr. Creepy's activate one of the props that's activated by a motion sensor. So I had to reverse the action of the motion sensor, activate the delay timer, which activated the timer for his duration, and then it shut the prop off. And like I said before, all the eyes, the motion, the scream, and the lights on his face and the lights in his eyes all come on at once. I use small LED lights, bright blue lights mounted behind the garage door opening, to shine onto his face, and were activated by all the relays. These things work great because you can't see them, and they give off just enough light to light up your subject, and they act like little spotlights. These were the bright, intensive blue lights to shine up his face, and then I also used one black light LED that lit up his tombstone. Here's a short video clip of Mr. Creepy before the kinks were worked out of him. The Invisible Man started out as a little store-bought prop that had light-up eyes, and it would blink, and it had all these creepy sounds that would come out of it. But the speaker was really small, so I added a jack to it to amplify it, and I plugged it into a pair of computer-amplified speakers. And then it also came with a try-me switch, which I cut off and I attached to a motion sensor. So whenever you walked up to it, it would start the sounds and the eyes would start blinking. I have it supported here from a black piece of metal. Actually, it's a square, and it goes back through the black curtain. So when you're looking at it straight on, you don't really see the flat piece of metal that's holding it up. All you see are the blinking eyes and all the glimmering curtain behind it. So it really is a nice effect. The hiding skeleton was made from a mask, a store-bought mask that came with a wig, and then I fashioned hands from gloves the same way I did before by stuffing them with wire. She's a basic lifting mechanism that is raised by a rotisserie motor that was Amelia's second motor that moved too slow. So I used it on this lifting mechanism and came up with the hiding skeleton, or grave popper as it's known. I also used small black light LEDs to shine up her tombstone and her face at the same time.